Hello all, welcome to the season finale of Season 3 in the driver career. We would very much like to, on what will be our final race for Ferrari, have a particularly strong result. We finished second here last season in our first year at Ferrari, the second year of the save of course, after we were at Haas in Season 1. And we will, at the end of this video, have a vote for where we go next. So don't vote on that yet, obviously. Making sure you wait and see what happens in this Grand Prix. That might still sway your decision as to which team potentially might be the best option for us for next year. And we'll have a closer look at our options at the end of this particular Grand Prix and at the end of the season. We could and hopefully should get ourselves up to 88 rated today as well. And quite nicely, we've built up a decent amount of resource points to carry over to next season to be able to help improve whichever car it is that we end up looking to improve, whether that's a McLaren, whether that's a Mercedes, whether that's an Aston Martin or a Red Bull perhaps. We shall wait and see. But one of the next 4 teams underneath us in the Constructors' Championship will be where we move, because we won't consider going to Haas or RB or Alpine or Sauber or Williams. So we'll be one of those 4. The Constructors' title is assured. The Drivers' title is assured. My 5th place is assured. But second, third and fourth is still up for grabs, but it wasn't assured until this final race, so I feel like there's still something to fight for here because it's my final race at Ferrari, and of course we would love to win our final race at Ferrari. We're on 104 difficulty still after the change to the AI by Codemasters. Obviously, we dropped it to 103 for the sprint in Qatar. Felt like we should have upped it to 104 back again, so we did for the race. We got very lucky with the race to win by the margin that we did, so I don't think we're going to be that good here. I'm particularly strong at Qatar as well compared to a number of other tracks. My tyre wear here isn't great either as far as I can recall, so it will be a challenge to do well at Abu Dhabi, but we got a P2 last year and could have got the win, so we will go for it again. We replicated, of course, our end of season results in the last 2 Grand Prix from this year and last year, a win, and then a win and fastest lap. We did win the sprint last year in Qatar. We only came second this year, but that was my fault for not tactically doing it correctly. So confident that we can get a podium at Abu Dhabi, I think. And fingers crossed, we can end strong and leave on a high at Ferrari in a similar vein to Carlos Sainz from this past, of course, final Grand Prix in real life as well. Thankfully, we'll be going to a team that's going to be more competitive next year than Williams. But Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon will be great at Williams as a pairing. The car, probably not so much. The car that we go to next year will be competitive. But will we go there as the most recent race winner? 3 in a row we could do here. The first opportunity, second opportunity, hopefully the first time we can pull through a hat-trick. We shall wait and see. Do drop the video a like if you're looking forward to Season 4. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on it. The new FC save either will have already started or will be starting very soon. So keep your eyes peeled for the FC25 Journeyman career when it begins, or if it's begun. But for now, I'm going to concentrate on the driving, and I shall see you as we head into qualifying. 1,500 resource points then to take with us to next season, to whichever side it is that we end up driving for. We're going to have a strong Grand Prix, I think, to make it to 88 rated, but it is possible. It is possible. I don't know, I can't remember whether we get like an end of season XP boost as well. Not sure, from like a final championship position or something. I really can't recall, but it's a fully dry Grand Prix, thankfully. I'm going to remember to put fresh bits in for the Grand Prix. I think we might have some. I might have the opportunity to put in a literally brand new gearbox for this race. Some of the stuff is barely worn at all, and then I don't think we used the 5th gearbox at all. We haven't, so I hope we're all right. Obviously, we were down on power in practice because we were using a worn ICE, so I'd like to think there's a little bit more lap time in there. We tried a high downforce setup and a low downforce setup, and the difference between the 2 times, 2 milliseconds. So that's not very definitive, is it? We'll go with the lower downforce setup purely because the AI tend to be really strong in a straight line, and we'll hope to be able to manage tyre temperatures, etc. From there. Tyre temps at the rear did get hot in practice, but it was during the day in the blazing sunshine, and obviously the race and quali is going to be at night under the lights. So hopefully tyre temps we can manage a bit better, and we should be all right. I hope. If not, then I've made the wrong decision. But I'll be... Actually, let me reload the setup because I had tweaked it in practice. So let me reload that slightly higher downforce setup. And then I'll be curious to see, actually, from the previous VOD, where we qualified in Abu Dhabi, because the practice program told me that I would be dead last. And I don't think I'm dead last levels of pace around here, but we've thought that at other tracks and obviously been found out for having a lack of pace. So let me go to the second channel here, go to videos, and then we can scroll and find Abu Dhabi from last season and see where we qualified. Sod's Law, I probably ended up taking a grid penalty of some description. Let's see, we're in Q2. Did we make it to Q3? We qualified 7th with a 1:21.6. And that's what I did, a 1:21.6 in practice. So in qualifying, we'd like to go faster. I don't know as I've got a 1:20 in us, but if we can get close to a 1:21.6, then I think I'd be happy enough. We were 7/10 off pole in qualifying last year, so let's just see what happens. Not a great time. It's 21.2. The 21.6 is 9th. 21.6 that I did in quali last year that we saw, it was good enough for P7 and having gotten through to Q3, might well have seen me out in this session. 20.8 at the front, 1 millisecond between Lando and Charles. I did a 21.2 and a 21.6 may well have seen me out. There was, wow. There was just 19 milliseconds between 14th and 17th. Really, really close at the back. Only a 10th and a half between 14th and 20th. The Hasses have fallen off, haven't they? They've really fallen off. At the end of Season 1, we were having strong results. At the beginning of Season 2, that was arguably the best car to be in. Sainz and Perez were challenging throughout the course of Season 2 for really good results. And this season, Haas have just gone... Wow, the decline has been noticeable. Checo out in Q1 again. Both Saubers out, one of the RBs, one of the Williams. Ollie Behrman underperforming in the Red Bull still, considering the capability of that car, as Max Verstappen is showing you. But a second driver at Red Bull underperforming isn't necessarily unrealistic, is it? Q2 time. Which I think we have done. 1:21.5 is what Albon did. I'm going to do a 20.8 with a purple third sector. That's surely through. 4th, yes, good. Now then, are there any shock exits here? That was a good lap. I enjoyed that one. That's 8/10 on what we did in Q3 last season. I don't know whether I made a mistake on that lap. Obviously, we only checked the lap time, but we'll see what we do in Q3 again here. And, wow, George gets very lucky. By 0.03 of a second, he survives. Lewis Hamilton, Lance Stroll, and someone else, not sure which, can't recall, have managed to go ahead of George. He was 7th, I think, previous to the beginning of Q2. The other RB, other Williams, and other Haas now all out. Ollie Behrman in the first Red Bull. Gasly's been really strong of late. Very strong indeed. Having a really solid end of season, Pierre Gasly, for Alpine. But in Q3... I'm probably going to have to replicate that 20.8 to even be anywhere near not starting like 8th, 9th or 10th, really. Whoa! A 19.9 from Lando Norris. What? Are you serious? A 19.9. Whoa, cancel. And it seems... Charles is out on a lap, Max is out on a lap, Lance is out on a lap, and I'm the only... There's only 4 of us doing another lap. So, if I can do the 20.8 again, I might be able to qualify top 6, maybe? deep in there. It's annoying. Another really good, strong third sector. A little bit of extra tardiness in the rotation of the car, but it's going to be like a 20.3. Okay, so we found 1.3 seconds from last season in terms of outright pace. But I don't know if I made him, like I said, I don't know if I made a mistake on that Q3 lap. I guess I could go back and check my Q1 and Q2 laps as well. But 20.3, and we qualify P2.
That wraps up qualifying.
Although,
don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow.
Most,
the Grand Prix.
Lando, George, Oscar, Lewis, Pierre, and Alonso didn't do another lap. Lance did 1 lap. And myself, Charles, and Max did 2. But the fact that Charles did 2 laps and wasn't able to best mine, he did a 20.4 and then went out on the same set and just was slower. If you put a new set on, he really didn't put the lap together. George was obviously 1 set. Did Max go any quicker? Max he basically put the same lap time in, effectively. Well, P2 is great. It's a fantastic place to start, but I'm expecting to struggle a little bit with tyre wear and straight line speed. So, as was the case in Qatar, hanging on to the leader and staying in DRS range is going to be very, very important. But second is not a bad place to start around here at all. I think 9 of the last 11 in real life, trying to pull memory from last weekend, 9 of the last 11 have been won from either the front row or pole in IRL. Obviously, Lando was pole. Lando was pole and Lando won in Abu Dhabi, so that might be 10 of the last 12 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in real life have been won from either pole or the front row. But we are front row, so there is a chance, they say. So you're saying there is a chance? Maybe. Probably not, but maybe. And we know that I never get good launches compared to the AI, but if I can get a good launch here, we could be into first.
Superb parking there, mate.
Angled.
Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as
slightly
the lights go
that
out.
way as you see it. Slightly to the right-hand side.
Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now.
Yes, as Adstar says in chat, time to engage the NOS. Good start. Right, Charlotte, Lando's gone defensive. Jesus Christ, Charles, do you mind? I had Russell on my inside, so I couldn't go anywhere. Thankfully, no damage, so we will continue and not restart. Deary me. I mean, I'll have a look, but Christ alive. Charles just turned into me there. I think Leclerc engaged the NOS, and I was left just trying to pick up the pieces. I think it was wheel to wheel, so we've very much been able to escape any damage there. That was so lucky. 2% wear on the rear right. Probably just from the way that I ripped the tyres apart. There goes managing the tyre temps. Wow. Charles Leclerc just did not give 2 shits about his teammate there. He Max Verstappened it. It's just that he was on the outside as opposed to the inside like Max was in real life. But I couldn't go any further left because George Russell was there. So I was kind of pincered there as the meat in the sandwich that did not go well for me. So seconds to 5th at the start, but hopefully this now, thankfully, is where the medium tyre can come to the fore and help us. We'll try and get those positions back and get after Lando because he's got a bit of a lead on Charles at the moment. 6 or 7 tenths probably. That was so aggressive from Charles Leclerc. I would imagine that would probably, as it was in Abu Dhabi for some, be a penalty for Charles for causing a collision. Right. Can I get around the outside? Lewis Hamilton on George Russell style? No. Is it worth having a look into this one? Probably not. Maybe. No. I thought about it. Just letting Max know I'm there. Just filling his rearview mirrors. Trying to make him concentrate on what's behind him rather than what's in front of him. That's the excuse I'll give for outbraking myself anyway. Or ballsing the overtake. 6% wear at the end of lap 3, so the rears are going about 2% a lap at the minute. So we've only really got till like lap 7 before they'll have an advantage tyre-wise. So I really need to start making some moves. To be fair though, at the very least, as long as I'm part of this train, then we can make it work later in the race. As long as I can just get dragged along till like lap 16, I'll be happy. But I'm going to have to make sure I manage my battery well enough to do that. Whilst it is a train, they will get backed up through these tight and twisties. Yeah, I'm not able to put power down out of that chicane as I would like to already on just lap 4. I might just bide my time, you know. Wow, Charles went really wide there in front, looking to maybe go around the outside of Lando into the chicane, which is really not the way to do it. Whilst we're this close to the leader, there's no point risking anything, is there really? And whilst they continue to fight, I might as well just stay where I am. I'm not going to gain anything. I'm not going to pull away from anyone if I do get to the front. So just stay as is. We're still pulling away from Lewis now in P7. Although I imagine he might... Let's look at the minimap. He might pull away from Gasly a little bit. I think I took the bollard with me there. I can still feel it under the car. Vibrations have now gone. Charlie's definitely contemplating having a go at Lando though, multiple times through multiple different braking zones, but hasn't really got close to pulling it off yet. That was a better exit, but tyres 12% worn on the right hand side now, so I think any opportunity we had to try and make a place on Max or George is gone. Lando keeps going defensive to Charles at the end of that straight. Charles is getting very feisty here, but Lando's holding him up very nicely. The longer he does that, the happier I am. I'm going to keep going into none on the ERS deployment through the third sector, or through part of the third sector, to make sure I keep topping up my battery as best I can. Because I keep needing it. I'm having to use a lot of battery. We are significantly quicker than them through here though. I keep closing right up, even with no deployment. So there might be an opportunity to make an opportunistic overtake in the third sector somewhere, maybe. But it is going to have to be very opportunistic. This is really helping me and Lance though. Lance and I are just loving life, clinging onto the back of these guys. I will ask actually what strategy they're on. But I'm sure they're going to be on a 2-stop. Absolutely certain.
Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, the gap is less than a second.
Because my tyre wear was as expected.
Okay, their tyres are 7 laps old. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap, 1 minute 25.
So they're either going...
Okay, so you're gaining by 1
Wow, Lando and Charles are right next to each other here, and now George Russell's getting involved. They might even go hard, hard, medium, or hard, medium, hard. Charles might take the lead here. He's going to have the inside line. I think Charles Leclerc is going to have a go at taking the lead of this Grand Prix. And he has indeed taken the lead of this Grand Prix. But Lando fights it back again. This is excellent battling from them at the front. I'm not getting that opportunistic opportunity, as it happens, to try and take Max. That's what I'm waiting for. Someone to be just slightly off position, out of position, and to jump. Lewis is 5.5 seconds back in P7. Still absolutely no worries about anyone back there. I'm still very happy with how the race is going, I have to be honest. Still very happy with how the race is going. I think Lance is going to be two stopping as well. We're just doing it differently to them. I don't know whether they maybe took the harder compound set for this Grand Prix weekend and have 2 sets of hards as opposed to 2 sets of mediums. Lance absolutely will be 2 stopping. He's just doing it my way.
Okay, we think
not their way.
2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. And the time last lap, 1:26.1.
There could yet still be a victory on here for us if we're able to maximise the undercut like we were in Qatar. I'm going to have to make sure that I'm still managing my battery, managing my tyre temperatures, managing my tyre wear, which we're doing okay at the minute at doing. And then we should be particularly quick in the final stint on the mediums. I'm much closer to Max now, and I've got a run on him. This might be the opportunity we've been waiting for to have a go at Mr. Verstappen. Is he going to go defensive? Yes. And nearly run into George. In fact, by trying to protect against me, he's run into George there. I think Max Verstappen might now be running with some front wing damage. He went deep on the brakes trying to avoid getting overtaken by me, and has run... Oh, he's bounced over the curb, run into George. He has still got that end plate. I thought maybe that had come off. No, he's gotten a little bit lucky there, Max. Just, I guess, as I did with Charles Leclerc at the start of the race. George has lost DRS, however, on the cars in front. That might make a big difference. Max is going to go for a move here, around the outside. I don't have any... It's not like I'm ranting and raving about anything that you guys in your own saves aren't also frustrated about. If anything, it's probably comforting to know you're not the only ones that are experiencing the same sort of frustrations with the gameplay. I know that's the case for me when I see a lot of you complain about FC gameplay or F1 gameplay. It's like, oh, I thought I was struggling, but at least everyone else is having the same experience.
2.9 seconds.
Yeah, 2.9 seconds is manageable. But it is going to continue to grow. I might just have to get steady. Might just have to get aggressive with Max and try and force it. He's falling off the back of George now a little bit.
First place.
He has. Charles just took Lando. P1 now for the championship leader and victor. At some point, I'm just going to have to go for it and use all my battery, aren't I? Oh, Max going for it on George. Going to be slow here. It's going to cost everyone time compared to the front two, but there might be an overtaking opportunity here now. Oh, Max! On the inside of both of them. Oh, yes!
Really good job on hitting that target.
I had to make a late decision there, a late call. George is still there. Now I'm going to do what Max didn't. Oh, I was thinking about it, but couldn't get the braking done. Now Max is on the inside because I went wide. No, you don't, Mr. Verstappen. No, you don't. Right, George, come back, please. I need DRS off the back of you, mate, if I'm to survive down the next straight. Thank you. Lap 15. We're probably going to box next lap. We'll get past George, or try and get past George, and then, without DRS, and to avoid dragging everyone else along a little bit, we'll look to box, and then hopefully start the undercut procedure. I wanted to try and get them both pinned on the inside, and then Max pulled across right in front of me. So I was like, ah, and panicked. Well, not panicked. Well, yeah, no, panicked. Oh, let's be honest, I panicked. I swung to the inside and then just tried to outbrake both of them and put my car in a position where they had to avoid me. I was perfectly legal and perfectly safe, but it put them in a position where they had to make a decision. I was like, my car is going to be there. You're going to have to... it's not so forceful that it's illegal. I kept it very much under control. I didn't lose the back end. I didn't run either of them off the track.
We're approaching the pit window now.
I just went for it.
Next time.
If I can get past George within the next lap, then we will look to box early. If I can't get past George, I'll just take the DRS all the way to lap 18 and then box. Because Norris is still only 4.2 ahead. We're not losing any time to the front two at the minute. It's just stable at about 4 seconds or so. Now is a question, or now the question is, as we continue to close on the front two, as they're still scrapping for the lead, now the question is, where will we come out traffic-wise? How much time will we, or will we be able to avoid losing
We're coming in this lap. Right,
in the pits? P15 is the first of the Saubers, the first, all the medium runners basically, who, to be fair, should be boxing. So we'll come out behind the RB and Aston Martin of Alonso, who has just died. What's happened to Fernando Alonso in this Grand Prix? It's gone nowhere. We are going to box this lap though. I'm not going to extend the mediums any further. I want to still be able to get a decent amount of laps in my belt for an undercut before we box again. So we will tell the team that we are going to box this lap. Haven't been able to get the overtake done on George, but that's fine. We've just been dragged along with the DRS, and we're very much keeping tabs with those in front, aren't we? Lando and Charles were 4.3 or 4 seconds away. They're now 3.4 seconds away.
This lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach.
I'll put the battery into none for the rest of the lap until we come out of the pits, to try and gain as much of it back as possible so we can maximise the free air that we'll have when we get out the pits. We've already told the team that we're boxing, so now we dip. And we're the first to box in the entire race. But it's what we want to do. We're doing it out of choice, not necessity, and Lance is boxing at the same time. Need a good stop, lads, otherwise Lance will jump us. Good stop, well done.
Now, come on. That was a fantastic stop.
Good stop for Lance as well. Not sure where we'll come out. The RB is boxed as well. They were all on mediums, weren't they, behind? So all the medium runners are also boxing on lap 18. So now we're just chasing all the other hard runners. So we've actually come out 12th, not 15th, as it said we might do. Time to get after Alonso and Piastri here. And there's a Haas and an Alpine in front of them, which will be someone and Nico Hülkenberg. Game on again. Let's utilise this undercut now and take the lead once everybody's boxed. That's the plan. Stroll, intriguingly, has gone medium. So they're following what was the default strategy of medium, hard. Whereas we're going medium, hard, medium. That says to me that those that started on the hard tyre are going to go hard, medium. But they may go hard, medium, or hard, medium, hard, depending on whether they had the balanced compound set or harder compound set. They might, like we said earlier, might have 2 sets of hards rather than 2 sets of mediums. We are chunking time out of those in front though.
2.2 seconds.
We will be up with these guys very, very quickly indeed. We need to lose as little time as possible getting through them, ideally. Otherwise it will risk our undercut. I believe Lando and Charles are still fighting. Max has fallen off the back of George Russell, I believe. So now they're all just running without DRS on one another. We should be at least P3 after the stops. Maybe we'll be able to come out in the lead if we can get past this quartet in front of us cleanly and quickly. The hard-tired runners haven't gone very far at all on those hard tyres. Only to lap 20. I expected them to go a lot further. So that says to me that they are hard mediuming, and they'll go 20, 18. So we'll all be on hard tyres now. We'll all be on the same tyre, and then we'll all be on mediums at the end. Yep. Leclerc on Haas. Piastri had a moment there, squeezed a bit of battery, trying to get up the inside here, and we've got the move done, and there is Charles Leclerc. DRS on our teammate. Lando's out in P1 still. Actually, no, Lando's P2 at the minute. Hülkenberg P3. Lando's opened up a bit of a gap there. Charles might have had a slow pit stop. Let's have a look. 6.1 seconds for Charles Leclerc. Yes, slow pit stop for Charles and a 3.3 second stop for Lando. They're hard mediuming. So we'll all be on medium tyres at the end. So again, an undercut is going to help us. And they will box on 40, which means I'm going to have to box slightly earlier if we want to utilise some sort of undercut, depending on race situation at that time. DRS on Charles here, I might go for it. Not going to get the chance. I might. No, it's not a heavy enough braking zone to throw it up the inside there unless you are right alongside. It's the Mercedes of presumably Lewis Hamilton, no, George Russell, sorry, that's in the box, as is Nico Hülkenberg. Now Lando's got himself a bit of a tasty lead here. .2 seconds over Leclerc. George has lost time. He's come out behind me and Stroll. But he is closer to Leclerc than he was pre-pit stop, so he's not done too bad. 93% battery, 4.5 tenths. I've just got to go for it. I've just got to go for it. And we will. I'll be brave on the brakes too. I'll give him a bit of space because he might clout over that orange curb. Position made. Now then, will it be position held by the end of this straight? I'm going to have to use a lot of battery here. Take an inside line. Lance Stroll's getting involved as well. We have held position and Stroll might be challenging Leclerc as well. So I'm going to whack it into none, build my battery for next lap, and we'll try and close on Lando Norris if we can now. Stroll up the inside of Charles Leclerc. If they want to fight and cost themselves DRS to me, then they are more than welcome. And they have done that. Or borderline. It was exactly 1 bloody second. Now then, who's quicker? Me or Lando? I dare say Lando based on that qualifying lap. They're coming for me again. Just can't extend the gap. Lando's going to disappear with a victory here, I think. Unless we can have a major undercut, but not going to get that lucky if he just extends that gap for the next 17 laps. I mean, maybe Charles has the pace to take us to Lando, but I'd be unsure about that. No, Lance. I mean, he might do. We might be better served just sitting behind Charles, not pushing him too much into defensive positions and just trying to gain on Lando. Or keep Lando more in check. Right, 4 tenths. Can I take him into the hairpin? I think I'm gonna. Charles Leclerc taken. Now then, can we start to DRS swap with him and get after Lando? Or, alternatively, extend out of DRS range of him and not worry about him from behind. Either or. Don't think I'm going to be able to break DRS, so it's probably going to have to be DRS swapping. Which, like I say, I am happy to do, provided it ensures Lando doesn't get too far away. Fastest lap of the race. 1:23.891. They are quicker than me in the first sector, which is annoying. Because this is where I'd really need to open up a decent amount of a gap. 3.5 to Lando at the hairpin.
Catching the car ahead by around 5 tenths a lap.
I'll let him take me and then try and take him back into the hairpin again. He doesn't lose any time overtaking me. I'll try and not lose any time overtaking him. This is how we close Lando. Gonna get him again.
Burn off some of this energy.
This is how we do it, Charles. Let's work together. He's going to keep doing that into that turn 9 fast left, and I'm probably going to have to dummy him. Look one way and then switch quickly the other, but timing that and getting it right is so tough. But yes,
Right, we need to get
we'll
past
probably be
him.
looking
Use
to box
overtake.
38 or 39, knowing that the others are going to box 40. Stroll will box slightly earlier because he's gone medium. Stroll will probably box lap 36. These tyres are falling off now. He's dropped well behind George Russell. We can see that it's working because the gaps behind are growing. It's working phenomenally well against those guys. Lando's just so quick that it's really hard to actually catch him up. It's just kind of maintaining the gap to Lando, which is fine. But it does mean that I'm probably going to have to box 38, not 39, if we want to make an undercut work on Lando Norris. To even stand a chance of a race victory today. If we hadn't got held up around here on the lap that everyone else boxed, we might have come out in front of Charles. But we came out just behind him. We might have been able to come out just out of DRS range in front of him and pull, but we didn't have that luxury, unfortunately. I'm going to box 38. I've not really got a choice. I have to run a 20-lap stint on the medium tyre, which is going to be tough. But the first set did do 18 after starting with a full fuel load. So it's manageable. Lance, intriguingly... Oh no, we expect him to box on 36, don't we? Lance, I think, will box this lap. Might just take him on the first straight this time. Because this is the lap that we're going to box. Lance did box at the end of 36, as expected. So I'm going to try and take Charles down the first DRS straight, defend from Charles down the second DRS straight, whilst losing hopefully as little time as possible. And get as close to Mr. Norris as we can. Just let me have it, Charlie. Let me have it. He's not going to let me have it. He's going to drive into me again. Fucking arsehole. Stop driving into me, Charles! Okay, well, 3.6-ish, 3.5-ish to Lando. Going to the medium tyre.
Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Now's when they botch the stop anyway, and it doesn't matter. We're all waiting for it. My final ever Ferrari pit stop. Here we go. Ready? Who's ready for it? Who's waiting for it? What tyre's going to be slow off?
Okay, there seems to have been a problem attaching the right rear wheel. We need to try and put that behind us, and let's finish this.
They didn't disappoint. The rear right tyre, slow off, 5.6 seconds rather than a 2.5 second stop, costing me 3 seconds, meaning the gap to Lando is now 6.5 to 7 seconds. And there goes any chance of an undercut. You just knew it. Get me out of this team.
Okay, mate. Right, we've got a full battery, which means we can use...
I can't believe it.
Let's go.
The one time I really... George Russell is out? George? Oh, George got pop. Okay, well that's not going to be a safety car of any kind there.
Yellow flag.
If it were, I'd be absolutely gutted.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
So that really would have ruined my race. They'd have all got a free pit stop. George is out.
Okay, clear.
I'm so bleeping annoyed. I mean, it was bound to happen, wasn't it? It was scripted as such. It just had to be that way for our last pit stop at Ferrari. You knew it. It wouldn't be a Ferrari season finale without a botched pit stop, would it? Now, how much time can we earn in the 2 laps we've got?
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car
before
ahead by.
Lando then boxes.
3 seconds.
Everyone in front of us is also going to box on lap 40. Because there's no 2 cars from the same team in front of us. With 3.1 seconds ahead of Lance, whose medium hard strategy has helped him close the gap on us a little bit, but not enough. Oh, fuck. Lando's in. Charles has kept going, which is good news for me. Means we'll definitely get an undercut on Charles. Well, I say that. I lost 3 seconds, didn't I? So we probably won't get an undercut on Charles Leclerc, even with the extra time we're doing. Extra laps. Who's that in front of me? Gasly, fastest lap of the race. Here comes Lando out of the box on his medium tyres, considerably. Down the bloody road still. We would have undercut him. We closed the gap to 3 seconds, 3.5 at most, and we lost 3.1 seconds in the stop. So take that out. I'm in his DRS range. Fucking Ferrari. They're going to cost me a race win in my last ever Grand Prix for them. That is classic Ferrari. I don't know whether it's because I'm boxing when they don't expect me. Like, I'm not boxing on the lap that they expect me to come in. But I'm in my window, and I'm telling them I'm coming in before half a lap before I come in. So they are ready for me every time. I'm not just surprising them in the pit box by rocking up. They just keep making mistakes. Gasly will box now, annoyingly, which will stop me from getting any DRS off the back of him. And we'll be lucky to come out ahead of our teammate here. We are going to come out in front of our teammate. But Lando is still 4 seconds down the road.
You're increasing the gap.
Leclerc's actually going to come out
5/10 a lap.
with the Aston Martin, I think. There's an Aston Martin and a Red Bull right there. Or is that can't be Alonso a lap down, surely. Is that Alonso a lap... That's not what I wanted. Is that Alonso a lap down? Surely not. I mean, it might be. No, Lance Stroll is there. It is Lance Stroll in third. I was just misreading the board. Yeah, Lance Stroll is in third. All right, well, we will finish second then, because Lando is quicker than me in clear air, and the others behind will fight and won't catch me. We're anticipating my options for Season 4 to be Red Bull, McLaren, Mercedes or Aston Martin, i.e. open for you guys to vote. I don't know which way it's going to go. Charles is just quicker than me. Charles has now set the fastest lap of the race with some slipstream off the back of me. On the hard tyre, I felt like I was faster than Charles. On the medium tyre, everyone else is quicker than me. Stroll's falling further back, but that's because he's on the hard tyre. But Lando is thick end of a second a lap faster than me at the minute. And Charles has been closing by a few tenths a lap since we came out of the pits. So we should get the podium today, but whether it's second or third, I don't know. But it won't be first without Lando retiring or a safety car / red flag closing everybody back up again. Oh, Charlie, 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 bang, bang, bang. The Ferrari is out. Oh my God.
The track is
and I nearly died trying to go round him. Will there be a late safety car of any sort? I don't think so. The gap to Lando had been coming down, sat behind Charles Leclerc. But no safety car, but equally no second Ferrari finishing this season finale. Well, things aren't going great for Ferrari in this one, are they? I could have had the win if it weren't for a botched pit stop, and we could have a double podium if it weren't for Charles's lack of reliability. Lap 54 of 58, I was only really hanging on to Charles anyway. I don't think I would have been able to get myself close enough to have taken second on merit.
Charles has dropped out of the race.
But we'll inherit it anyway. So we will replicate what we did last year. Win Las Vegas, win Qatar, P2 in Abu Dhabi. Hopefully, we don't have a replication of the whole season next year, so that we can actually fight for the Drivers' Championship. We have, though, won the Constructors, which I think is the first time we've won anything in an F1 series that we've done in a little while. Since my team of a couple of years ago. So that's nice. Nice to actually win a title. But it's not the title that you want as a driver. I want the WDC, please. But at the minute, in this car, with the fact that everyone else has caught up with us developmentally, there is no chance of the World Drivers' Championship. Not with Charles Leclerc as my teammate, which would make me slightly apprehensive about going to McLaren, because Lando's evidently rocket ship quick in that orange car. Sorry, in that papaya car. And I would fear that at McLaren, we would suffer the same fate that we did this year, in that I'd just be significantly slower than and not able to keep pace with my teammate at all, and my teammate would run away with the World Drivers' Championship, just like Charles did this year. I feel like I almost need to be at a team where I'm more comparable to my teammate. But I don't know where that might be in a car that would stand a chance of winning a Drivers' Championship. At Ferrari, Charles is just faster than me. At McLaren, Lando would just be faster than me, I think. At Red Bull, I'd probably stand more of a chance with Max, but I don't know how much so. It might be a matter of single percentages. At Aston Martin, I think I could probably battle with Alonso. And at Mercedes, I could probably hold my own against Lewis or George. But it depends who comes in for us in the summer, or in the winter, sorry. So used to saying in the summer with transfer windows on FIFA. We might not get many options. Alternatively, we might get one option that is just the obvious and we take it anyway. Or it goes to a vote for you guys. But the only way to find out is to finish this race and get there. Leclerc's engine went bang, helps you put every word in the sentence, doesn't it, Ches? As we start the final lap of our final Grand Prix at Ferrari, we are going to replicate exactly Carlos Sainz. P2 at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix,
catching you by 0.5 a lap, 0.5.
with Lando Norris out front and uncatchable. We just sadly don't have Charles Leclerc behind us for a double Ferrari podium in our last Grand Prix at this team. I am probably happier to be leaving Ferrari than Carlos was, because it's another case of what could have been here. We've had too many of those over the past 2 seasons at Ferrari. We should have been fighting Lando Norris for the victory today, and would have been if they didn't botch my pit stop. Again, we've done everything we can tactically with strategy to put ourselves in the position to get the best possible result. And the pit strategy team have let us down. Reliability was such an issue at Ferrari as well in the opening stages that we ended up turning off mechanical DNFs entirely. You'll have to let me know if for season 4 at a new team you would like me to turn those back on again. Seems as it might well have just been a Ferrari thing, potentially. I'd be open to the idea of that, actually. I hadn't even considered it, actually. But Lando wins
there it is, mate.
the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Down on the season. It might have been a tough
P2.
season. We've definitely had some tough moments in it, but I hope there's been some times in there that you've enjoyed. I know there have been for me, and look, there's lots to learn, so hopefully we can go again, and next time we'll do better.
Here's the
The subtitles said none of that.
It's Lando Norris for victory.
What's the point of having subtitles if they're not what the thing is saying? Lando wins. I'm second. Max Verstappen third.
That, ladies and gentlemen,
and we'll take it. Oscar Piastri, driver of the day. P13 to P6, a great recovery drive from him. His fastest lap just was actually quicker than mine. Lewis, P7. George retired, didn't he? George's engine went pop. Well, as season finales go, it wasn't the most dramatic. We have, however, managed to get ourselves up to 88 rated as we anticipated that we would do. With a big end of season push, Focus massively rising. Focus is the weak spot though. 85 experience, 92 racecraft, 89 awareness, 86 pace, and 76 focus apparently. Which is probably pretty apt considering I get distracted by live chat and my PC. So maybe that's on point. So we will leave Ferrari at the end of this season then. We will have the opportunity, thankfully, one of our regular mods, Adstar, has done a test for me. I can go to the team select screen and then turn the game off and then reload again without losing the opportunity to go to any of the teams that are in that potential vote. So we can go to the team select and we can show you who is coming in for me next season. Where could we move to from Ferrari? As we say thank you to Captain for subscribing for the 4th month in a row. My options are... There'll be a bit of an odd cut here because we didn't check something when I previously recorded this bit. So the teams that have come in for me are McLaren, Mercedes, and RB. Now, on the performance index, you can see where those teams are. And I kind of gave an opinion about McLaren and Mercedes in one of the previous highlights. But what I didn't do when I previously showed everybody this was show the performance by pressing X here at the top. So you can see how I stack up against my teammate and what potential growth wall we might hit like we experienced at Ferrari. VCARB are obviously understandably a little bit lower down as it stands, but as we say, just as when we went from Haas to Ferrari, who knows who's going to have protected well against the regulation changes or not. The Ferrari car was a dog when we first drove it, so for it to go in 2 seasons from nothing to Constructors and Drivers' Champion, basically like McLaren almost, IRL, is remarkable. So at McLaren, I would have only 41% recognition against my teammate, who's also 94 rated, Lando Norris. Charles Leclerc, 94 rated as well. I would be driving alongside Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes, which would mean George Russell would be moving. Where? Maybe it's just a straight swap, I don't know. But I'd have 43% against Lewis. And at VCARB, against an 84 rated Yuki, I would be the number 1 driver. Now that might sway your vote to go for a bit of a gamble for VCARB. Potentially. I don't know. Equally, we are improving at Ferrari, so if we were going to pit Ferrari, I wonder if the recognition would actually ever get to 60%. I don't think it would, which might sway your decision here and here, because we'd have to get back to 50% in some places. We might inherit a car from Mercedes or McLaren and not be able to upgrade it at all because our reputation isn't high enough. So maybe, in a monstrously unexpected move, VCARB might be the one that you go for. I'd be very intrigued indeed. But McLaren, Mercedes and VCARB are your 3 options for the vote. I'm going to quit here so that I don't accidentally continue and ruin that. So that might be very, very intriguing. I'm still imagining that it's going to go one of a couple of ways, but there is a curveball there, and you might feel so inclined. We shall wait and see which way the vote goes. Regardless, thank you very much for watching for all of 2024. We may well not have episode 1 of season 4 until we're into the new year, because I'm focusing from now, recording, till at least Christmas on getting the FC25 RTG and Journeyman saves ready. So if we don't have a new episode until the new year, thank you for your support for the entirety of 2024. If we do have a new episode before the beginning of the new year, thank you for your support through 2024 for 99.9% of it. And I'll see you in the next episode before we get to New Year's Day. Regardless, thank you very much for your love and support on this save so far. It's your commitment to this save that is seeing us do a season 4. So please do drop the video a like. Please do make sure you continually subscribe to the channel so you keep showing the support for this F1 save, and hopefully we can go for the Drivers' Championship at whatever team you decide to vote for me to go to. I will see you in a new season, maybe in a new year, certainly a new year virtually. I'll see you next time.